according to the Bible, which the evidence makes clear has come to us from God, as I've covered early on in the playlist on the video, The Evidence for Christ, we were all born spiritually blind. And while physically blind people don't need anyone to tell them they're blind, spiritually blind people do. We need God to reveal it to us. So again, as I've covered on the playlist, if this seems foolish to you, it's not because it's actually foolish, since there's so much evidence for all of it. It's because you're not born again. You don't yet have eyes that see or ears that hear. Or else you are born again but have become a hypocrite about the Lord's teachings, so that you've again blinded yourself with beams, as I've already clearly covered, and which is made very clear in Matthew 7:5. While we have to become born again to understand the things of God, he says, "You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart." Jeremiah 29:13. And he rewards those who earnestly seek him. Hebrews 11:6. Not materially, not necessarily. Primarily, he's talking about spiritually, right? Rewarding us with his presence. He says, "I am your very great reward," Genesis 15:1, and nothing beats knowing the Lord, our Maker. We have to have a hunger and thirst for righteousness, Matthew 5:6. And since our hearts are deceitful above all things and desperately wicked, Jeremiah 17:9, Jesus says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness," Matthew 6:33. But that's not the first thing anyone seeks. It's more like when all else has failed, we seek God. Or not even seek him, but call out to him. So after the 9/11 attacks, Christians talked about the lost finally making that 911 call to God. But he also says, "I revealed myself to those who did not ask for me. I was found by those who did not seek me." Isaiah 65:1. That's what he's initially doing through this ministry. And I'm kind of jealous, not just kind of. I sought the Lord and had Christians chase me away, so that it took me 7 years to crash and burn before crying out to him more earnestly. And ever since then, for more than 3 decades, I've had to go against the grain, every grain, of the lost and of the born again, to get further enlightened. But he's giving you nearly everything on a platter, and you might still blow him off. And since he initially, primarily, had me make this playlist for my sister-in-law, as I've talked about on the playlist, I'm primarily speaking to her. He's giving it all to her on a platter, but he's giving it to everyone on a platter. Lord willing, you won't blow him off anymore.